Hi, welcome to my kitchen once again. Today I'm going to show you how to make saucy macchi, and this is a delicacy that we have mostly in our lagans and navjotes. People can make sauce two ways, one with lamb with red vinegar and one with fish with white vinegar, and white vinegar one is what we eat at the weddings. So this is exactly what we're going to do. Now the trick is to keep everything ready because it's a very simple recipe, and once you start you just go. So let's start with preparing the masala. You need very few ingredients in this sauce: onions, garlic, chili and flour and some vinegar mixture. So in preparation for this, I'm going to just grind garlic and chilies into a wet masala. I've got one whole bulb of garlic, which has typically around 12 pods, and around 12 green chilies, and this will be the only masala that you'll have, so you can make it spicy or less spicy, it's up to you. So here I'm making this into a wet paste. This is how your garlic and chili paste would look like. You could also keep a teaspoon of cumin in this paste, but I prefer not to because it's very essential for you to keep your sauce as white as possible, and when you add cumin the masala becomes brown and it kind of makes the sauce brown as well. So I just add the jeera with the onions and keep it whole. You'll see how I do that. Now back home we normally use Pomfret for this sauce, and it's very hard for us to get Pomfret here, so I prefer using sea bass fillets, which is boneless, and it's a nice fleshy, very light but tasty fish. Now get it fresh and filleted by the fishmonger, and you could, again, people would put probably a little bit of haldi and salt, but I don't do that because it'll make your sauce yellow. I just put some salt and pepper on it and just leave it to marinate with it. Salt and a little pepper. It's time to go to the pot now. Come follow me. I have chosen a wide saucepan because when you put fish, you need to have a broad base for the fish to kind of spread out and it doesn't break that way. I'm going to put half a teaspoon of cumin seeds into 100 ml oil. Here we go. And once that sputters a bit, 1 cup of finely chopped onion that goes in. Typically this was around 1.5 onions. So let's kind of cook this a bit. It doesn't need to be completely brown. It just needs to soften up. What I also find is, even if you don't chop your onions too fine, it's okay, because I have actually blitzed the sauce in the past, and that kind of takes away the coarse texture of the onions, which worked out really well. We've got the onion looking exactly how it should. A little bit translucent, just slightly browned. Now the next thing you put is your chili and garlic wet paste. So you've got quite a bit of that, and that goes in, and we fry this further for another 3 to 4 minutes with the onion and blend it all in. At this point, just ensure that you turn the flame down to medium to low. The next thing that goes in is 3 whole tablespoons of flour, and this is just plain flour. Basically you're making it into a sauce, so it's just like how you make white sauce. And make sure you get rid of all the lumps, which is why I'm using a spatula, which helps me to just kind of break down the lumps and make sure the flour cooks. Otherwise you'll just taste it in your mouth. So we've cooked this for at least 3 minutes. It's time to put hot boiling water. You could also use fish stock for your sauce, which will make it very tasty, of course. This is the time to change to a whisk. And now slowly pour in your hot water. I would say roughly around 3 glasses. The sauce is thickening up because of the flour. Now I'm just making sure that all the lumps, all the flour has broken down into the sauce and it's getting smooth, and I can feel it thickening. We're already halfway there. So this is what will make your sauce taste the way it should. Over here I have 4 tablespoons of regular sugar, to which I will add 100 ml of apple cider vinegar, and lastly 1 egg. let's give this a good whisk. Now this is an important step because you have egg in this mix and your gravy is already hot. So just to be on the safe side, I would switch off the hot. Although this is steaming hot, you need to make sure you're whisking the mixture in. So let's do this slowly. Let's whisk this, and let's whisk in the egg and apple cider vinegar sugar mix. And this will make your gravy cloudy. Please make sure you keep whisking, otherwise you'll have scrambled eggs and not a sauce. Right, I have just tasted the sauce and I just feel the need to add a little bit more sugar. So I'm going to add 2 more tablespoons of it. I've switched the hob back on and it's time to now just put the salt in the sauce. I'm going to just put a teaspoon of it for now, because don't forget your fish already has salt and pepper and that will also acquire some taste. You can sometimes see lumpy bits in the sauce, which is your garlic or your chili, and I just kind of give it a very tiny whisk. So let's do that. So after blending the sauce, I let it boil for a good 5 minutes, and it's now time to put the fish inside. So I shall just gently lay it in the gravy, skin side down. And fish doesn't take very long to cook, so let's give it another 5 minutes with the fish. Now fish, as we know, doesn't take long to cook and it's almost done. And I'm going to now put in some cherry tomatoes which I've halved. I've used around 10 of them, and this is a cherry tomato. These are mainly garnish. You don't need to cook them in your sauce. And they add a little bit of color as well. They look really pretty in the sauce. And now for some chopped coriander, and this is roughly chopped coriander, just into your sauce. And we're almost ready. This is how your fish sauce looks like. It's time to plate now. So traditionally in our lavans and navjotes, we would get this as a starter and we would eat it with roti. But you can also eat it with some rice, and typically in Parsi households we make khichdi, or which is yellow rice which is infused with turmeric. I've got some pilaf rice with me, so you can actually use any sort of flavored rice. So let's do the needful. You know, I really enjoyed this part of the vlog because after all the cooking, this has got to be the best bit. And I used to think this was one of the worst and hardest dishes to cook, and how glad was I to find out that it's such an easy sauce to make and it's delicious. It takes me back to childhood memories. So here goes. Let's take a bit of the fish, which you can see has cooked so beautifully. A little bit of the sauce and rice. What's not to like? So here we have it. It's all done. Yeah?
Yes. 5 seconds in, mother.
Okay, so as you saw how easy and simple it was to make with few key ingredients, you have a winning dish. And for all you non-Parsis out there, you guys know what is sosni macchi. Very often the first thing you will tell me is, oh, do you make sosni macchi? Because you guys have eaten it in our functions, and now you can make it too without looking for a Parsi to make it for you. So I shall love you and leave you. As always, thanks for your support and appreciation. Keep it coming and keep watching from Del's Kitchen. Goodbye.